Yo guys, it's week 3, Pool A, the LLL Ubers UU League. I'm just gonna dive right in. We have 4 matches to discuss before going into the big juicy game, and the first match we are looking at is Excalibur versus Delta Warrior. A match where Excalibur had to do 2 things right. The first thing is not give Delta the opportunity to wreak havoc with something like that Lando I or an Ira Valiant, 2 mons that could have been very dangerous, like a few good options to stop them, but it was still scary, especially this Lando. So that's the first thing they had to worry about, and the second thing is, well, the best option for them was to win on a chance to shine and to actually have what happened in the end. It was a well-positioned Dustclops. Dustclops doing what it does best apparently, just being a nuisance. The haze on Volcarona, for example, was a good bring. We have a weird set, like we have offensive, like physically offensive Cyclizar, which apparently worked out. Cyclizar got 2 kills, which doesn't happen that often. So that was a cool bring, but it was all in the purpose of getting that Espathra in late game, and that ended up happening. Espathra cleaning up with 3 kills at the end, and this match actually ending a 4-0 win for Excalibur over Delta Warrior. The next match we are taking a look at is Random Creep versus Alice, and let me just lead with holy crap, Gastro is really proving his worth this competition. Second thing I want to talk about is the shame. That's such a shame that this Lowland Sandslash wasn't any faster. I believe Alice said that they thought that it was not worth it to just outspeed the Tauros, so they went in for a little bit more bulk and they decided to backfire. So that's a shame. Alice was in a position to wreak havoc there, but still, Gastro, like I said, that's my mon this week. I know it did work in previous weeks, but 3 kills, 0 deaths. That's a good performance in my eyes. And overall was a very well-positioned match for Random Creep. Tauros, like I said, was important apparently for the speed tiering, and Alice really showed that they are not down and out. They really put up a good fight, and I do believe that Alice is gonna pick up some momentum and get better and better as the week goes on. It's just unfortunate that speed investment ended up biting her in the ass. But it's a 5-0 win for Random Creep. And then we're moving on along to SBAB versus Nebula, a match in which everything is decided on turn 7 with a critical hit poison jab on a Primarina, which sucks. But my job as an analyst is not to analyze what could have happened, but what actually ended up happening. That crit was there, and it decided the entire momentum of the match. I'm not saying that an SBAB would have won or something, but they would have had a much better shot, let's just say that. That's just very unfortunate. But yeah, in this case, stuff like that happens. Nebula ended up using early game momentum with that rain to weaken SBAB's team a bit. And yeah, we all know what happened. It's Comfey sweeping at the end. Comfey getting 4 kills, I believe, which is absolutely insane. This thing needs to get bumped up to a next tier in the next competition. But yeah, that's a what was it? A 4-0 victory for Nebula over SBAB after that unfortunate critical hit P-jab. Yeah, I know, guys. I know it's weird not seeing Leo Justice a game a week. I know it doesn't happen. That shouldn't happen, but it did. Leo did pull out some very cool tricks, like Trick Room and Trick on Palkia, for example. It was a very threatening match on Leo's behalf. He put up a good fight, but in the end, it was just Fishy Road using that Sun momentum in their advantage. And I like the fact that mons like Torkoal actually got 2 kills. Torkoal with 2 kills? That's insane, bro. But yeah, that Mewtwo, that Charizard, that Torkoal putting in work. I believe all of them got like 2 kills, so that's kind of a nice balance. This draft in Sun is just nasty, and sometimes you just, yeah. It was early game momentum from Fisher Road's side. Just at a certain moment in this match, everything fell on fell Fishy Rose away. Not Hex, but just momentum wise. And yeah, it ended up in a 3-0 victory. And Leo, just keep cooking. I know you're this time you got cooked, but next time you're gonna cook again, I know. But now for the final match, we are taking a deep dive here. So get your scuba gear in place. We are looking at Volt Ninja versus PTK. I said the name right. Holy shit. Volt Ninja's team is filled with a Zacian, Reshiram, Greninja, Archelodon, Giratina, Electrode, Hisui, Bronzong, Fletchinder, and a Frostmoth. And at PTK side, we have a Deoxys, Indeedee Male, Sneasler, Meowscarada, Armarouge, Hoopa, Iron Crown, Cramble, Crocodile, Wugtrio, and Hatram. Still like the fact that it's called Wugtrio, that's an insane name. Yeah, we see some very threatening synergy on PTK side. That offensive momentum that you can gain with just swamping your team with that psychic type, you're kind of in for a hard time. Greninja is not known for its bulk, so that could be very nasty. I feel like this is one of those games where psychic spam is gonna end up just wreaking havoc. I'm not saying that PTK is gonna win this match because of it, but damn, it looks very threatening. Look at a Deoxys, for example. Bronzong is kind of an answer, but not really. Let's just Giratina as well. One of those mons that can tank a hit, but one wrong Ice Beam or Shadow Ball or whatever. Yeah, that's kind of nasty. Coupled with a Meowscarada as well. Meowscarada has a surprisingly good matchup. Especially looking at speed tiers, being able to just barely outspeed that Greninja, being able to outspeed that Reshiram or whatever. There are two mons that do outspeed it. Something like a Scarf Crocodile could actually be very useful. That Intimidate on itself, just being able to lower Zacian's attack, being able to hit EQ on certain mons like a Reshiram, like an Archelodon, could be funny, but it's mainly gonna be size spam. And on Volt Ninja's behalf, just look at Zacian. It's always a threat, and in this case as well. I don't see a Soul Steel type. I mean Iron Crown, but Iron Crown does not really appreciate something like a Reshiram or Greninja or whatever, chipping it down. So Zacian at a certain point is just able to wreak havoc, my dude. It wreak havoc, and that's kind of what I'm expecting. I'm expecting a very good performance of Zacian right here, coupled with a Reshiram to kind of chip down that team. So probably like Boots Reshiram, or you could make it AV or whatever, like a bulky Reshiram, could be very interesting. Electrode Hisui outspeeds everything. The only ground type on the team is a Crocodile, and Crocodile is, you can get rid of that with a 1-Leaf Storm. So it's a good bring as well. I feel like Electrode Hisui is a very fun bring. And if I were to favor one side, I do think that I think Volt Ninja, just barely, because the Zacian and Reshiram, that taking in place, the thing is PTK has to rely on Psychic Spam and Psychic Terrain, so you have to keep that Indeedee in life on certain moments, and that's kind of risky, but it's a tough matchup. It can go either way, but I'm just favoring Volt Ninja for this. And I think we're just able to dive into the match right now. And that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so we are leading off with a very weird nickname on Fletchinder. Able to tank the first knock, not getting Flame Body here, but Meowscarada opening the dance. Reshiram, oh great. Getting rid of Heavy Duty Boots like I expected, but getting rid of Meowscarada early game is nice as well. It does relieve pressure of that Giratina, like you guys notice. Indeedee, that's barely any damage, and that with leftovers, it's back to full for Bronzong. Being able to chip down the team with rocks over time, not seeing any removal on PTK side. and we are seeing a Shadow Ball, which does a hell of a lot of damage, and in this case does enough to get rid of that Frostmoth. That's a shame for Frostmoth. It's not a 5 kill. Yeah, last time we got 5 kills. Now it doesn't. Zacian, yeah, Cringe is not gonna do a lot, but a defense drop though. it's not enough to tempt to stay in. Encore is actually a very fun bring. I didn't even know Gramble got Encore, gonna be honest. The taunt on the Bronzong, being able to stop some trickery if it does have some trickery up its sleeve. Now it's probably, if it has a steel type move, it will whip it out, but it does not have a steel type move. But chipping down at Gramble is not bad for Zacian. It really isn't. It doesn't butter. It does have the Gyro Ball at this point, and yeah, I think it's actually well played around. I don't think Gyro Ball would have killed earlier, so it's actually very fun to reveal that at that point, just knock out Gramble. And now Zacian is getting well, it's looking better and better with every turn, so perhaps yeah, this was the vital turn, the Bronzong thing. Healing Wish though, on the Indeedee, no one getting that kill, but it's nice to have that as a backup. Hoopa coming out, going for the Shadow Ball on the Fletchinder, going down Sleeper Mom. Hoopa, Terra Fairy. That's a great Terra this week, and I want to emphasize that a little bit here. Terra Fairy, the only real Fairy resist I see is, Fletchinder, but I'm not gonna count Fletchinder. It's that Bronzong. And Bronzong, at this point, you can just Shadow Ball. It's not that big of an issue. So, Terra Fairy works wonders, and at this point, yeah, it works so much wonder that you get 80% of that HP on the Zacian. Endure is such a great bring, being able to outspeed Zacian, and now Zacian is out of the picture. Holy crap, the mon that I thought would clean is getting cleaned by a Hoopa. And at this point, PTK could actually win this match with a Hoopa, which is insane to say. Shadow Ball, that's some nasty damage on the Reshiram as well. Bronzong, yeah, get protected, that's 58%, that's some damage. And actually, the Magician popping off, but Hoopa is one of those mons that basically doesn't have a ability because Magician isn't that great, but now we got extra health because of leftovers, which is funny as hell. It's probably not gonna matter at this point because Hoopa is being, it's in such a vulnerable position. Now is actually getting Shadow Sneaked, and that does so much work. At this point I thought like, oh, he's gonna take like 80% of a Shadow Ball. Sneezer is gonna pick off the kill on the Giratina, and at that point, with a chip down Reshiram as well, PTK is gonna win. But Shadow Sneak, like, old school people know the Shadow Sneak was a vital move on a lot of Giratina sets, but Giratina usually. Not the Wally Stolly dude. So Shadow Sneak is such a high bring, it's such an underrated move as well. Like, you don't expect this one to get priority because it's known for the bulk and the sluggishness, and no, it does have a Shadow Sneak. So it's a very cool bring. Detail missing though. Now it does hit 55%. Deoxys, how much does that Shadow Ball or that Ice Beam wants to do? Nothing, because Shadow Sneak actually picks it off. Such a good bring this week. Yeah, once Terrain was gone, this was actually such a sleeper mon to have in a bag. Yeah, I did not expect this whatsoever in prep or whatever. You don't expect a Giratina to have Shadow Sneak. So at this point, Direct Claw, being able to poison it, and yeah, that's not enough. If it were to para there or sleep or whatever, yeah, Reshiram would not have survived. So it was just a case of coin flips at that moment, but you would have to go off of a, what's Direct Claw's chance of getting a status, like 30 or 40% or something, and off of that, you would have to get one of those two statuses, so para and sleep, but it wasn't enough, and that sucks. But I gotta say, Volt Ninja, that Shadow Sneak bring is such a good bring. Even though there was Psychic Terrain, it was such a, you don't expect this mon to have Shadow Sneak. You don't. So it's such a cool mon, but let me not take anything away from that Hoopa, because Hoopa, shine on, bro. That was such a good bring. Terra Fairy fit wonderfully, and I think a lot of us think that Hoopa does not deserve the Terra next league. That's an insane Terra. But it's a 2-0 win for Volt Ninja, and with that I'm gonna wrap up this part of the video. At this point we are going to look at the standings. I pulled them up. It's Nebula and Random Creep on top. 3 wins both. That's some great work, guys. Volt Ninja with a recently acquired win. Asbab, Excalibur, and creator of some, and PTK of course with 1 win. The match between creator of some and 2 times flying has to be sorted out. I don't know what happened just yet, but we'll find out by the time this is posted. And Alice and Delta also have 0 wins. Leo is just out of playoffs because of differential things. Yeah, the last thing I have to take a look at is the mod of the week. But yeah, it would be a crime if it wasn't Hoopa. Hoopa was such a great bring. That was such a great bring. That's all I gotta say. It's like the most fun mod I've seen this entire week. And that's kind of the reason why I picked Hoopa. Like I can scroll through matches, but I'm not gonna find anything as cool as that Hoopa. So with that being said, oh dude, no, the Gastro, shout out. Yeah, Gastro is amazing as well. But with that being said, I'm gonna wrap it up. Yeah, I don't have anything more to say.